Yo, what it do? Hey, people! Welcome to episode 4 of Heek's Hot Takes. I'm Heek, if you ain't know. Thanks for tapping in. You know, we 4 episodes deep in this thing. We gonna keep riding it till the wheels fall off. Don't care. We chase the dream. I appreciate y'all chasing it with me. So, man, this episode we gonna get straight to the point. We already did a lot of our gambling previews. I mean, not previews, but breakdowns of basics. If you guys want to go back and review those are in the episode 1, episode 2 videos. Basic breakdowns of player props, game props, what the little plus and minuses mean, stuff like that. And then that'll be a basic springboard for you as we go throughout the season and we talk about different things on different episodes and different bets that we think and we like that we should place. So uh, never feel ashamed to ask any questions about those. If you guys want to get more information on that, always feel free to comment on the video or shoot me a message directly. Also, YouTube coming shortly. Just got to make the channel official and those videos will be uploaded there as well, so you'll be able to go back there to watch those videos. So without further ado, let's go ahead and kick this episode off. Preseason takeaways. So this week was week 3. It's the last week of the preseason. Not that many things to see in a sense because a lot of starters were sitting. Some teams were playing starters. Others weren't. So things that I saw from teams that might have been playing some players that are going to get some PT. Dolphins offense looks dangerous as fuck with an asterisk. And that asterisk is Tua's health. If Tua's not there, it's not going to be pretty. The backups don't look prepared. Mike White, that Magic stayed in New York. and Skylar Thompson ain't him. So if Tua goes down, really worried about the Dolphins' offense. But Tua healthy, that offense is going to be dangerous. Like I said, they have a million guys who can run 4.2s, so like speed's going to kill, and it's going to keep them in every game as long as they're healthy. The Jags' offense also looked pretty good when they were in the game. Trevor Lawrence, second year, looks like third year technically, second year in this offense. Looks like he's going to ascend. Looks like he's going to take that next step. I don't know about MVP talk. I've been hearing that out there a lot. I wouldn't throw my hat in that ring quite yet, but definitely going to lead his team to a better start than they had last year. Probably build off that momentum they had at the end of last year. Him and Calvin Ridley look like they're going to be a problem. So if you have any stock in that in fantasy or just in general as a Jaguars fan, I would be very excited about that. Calvin really looks like he's moving well. And obviously, you don't really know what it's going to look like until they step on the field in a regular season game. But all signs point to it developing and the chemistry looking like it's going to lead to a good year for those guys. Josh Jacobs is back. So you can proceed as normal in those waters when it comes to fantasy and other Raiders fandom. I just don't know if he's gonna have the year he did last year in the sense of everybody knows it's coming this year, and we'll get to this later in my Raiders breakdown. But I don't really see Garoppolo a upgrade from Carr, so he could see more stacked boxes. For those that don't know, like that means more people inside the box, which is the realm between the two tackles, right? So if you have a tackle, guard, center, guard, tackle, this is the box, and all players inside of there is the box. So your D linemen, linebackers, any safeties that come down to help for the run. So a stacked box means you're going to have a box with a lot of defenders in it. So daring the other team to throw the ball, essentially. I see that happening. I see that happening this year, but that's another. We'll talk about that later. Um. So the Broncos wide receivers look down bad, but little Jordan Humphrey looks like a name to keep an eye on. He was making plays yesterday. And with Judy hurt, Tim Patrick hurt, I would keep an eye on him as well. But again, more on that later too, as we're doing AFC and NFC West breakdowns today. Okay, this is one people might not want to hear. To be honest, they might not want to hear this one. I think we might need to pump the brakes a little bit on Justin Fields. I think he's gonna be great. I think he's gonna be good. I think the leg talent's always gonna be there. I saw some throws yesterday in a preseason game that are pretty questionable. That against good corners, those are picks. And too often I'm seeing, and again, not I'm not saying this as like a knock on him, like in the Bears season wise, or even in fantasy wise, because yards are yards, but I guess in the sense of like expecting him to carry the load and take them there, like the passing yards, it's coming a lot on like rack plays. So what that means is run after the catch play. So he's throwing it short, and then the receiver or the running back is running for like 50 or 60 yards, right? He's not necessarily dicing them up, and he don't need to. I'm not saying that's something that he needs to do to be successful. I'm not saying that's something that he needs to do to win games. I don't know. I there's been a lot of people talking about MVP, and I know like at least the major media market has been saying this could be an MVP year for him, and I just think that talk right there needs to chill a lot a bit because he still needs to make some progressions in his throwing um, before I feel comfortable myself saying that about him, unless he runs for 1,800 yards, but I don't see that happening. So, um, yeah, just we'll pump the brakes on the Justin Fields MVP, but still going to be good and still going to have a good year because the weapons are making a difference clearly. Um, the first series of the Ravens Buccaneers game yesterday of the Ravens offense was the Ravens number 2 offense with Josh Johnson up against the Buccaneers number 1 defense. Josh Johnson and the Ravens sliced them dudes up, okay? And I just want to point back to the hot take we pinned an episode or two ago. The Bucks are going to challenge for the worst team in the league. I don't care. I'm putting it out there again. I'm putting my neck out there again. The Bucks are going to challenge the Cardinals for the worst team in the league. The Cardinals are going to be the worst team in the league. Okay, but the Bucks are going to be right there with them. Like I firmly believe that. I think this Baker preseason hype is the same as all the Baker preseason hype we've ever heard in his entire career. Like the only thing that's changed is the color of the jersey. So I'm not buying it. I'm not, and that's barely changed because don't the Bucks have that ugly ass orange and the Browns got orange. So look, head ass, we not going for that. No, I don't. I don't. Yeah, I know they're red, but they got the orange creamsicle jerseys. You know those? Oh, you never seen those? Baba never seen the Bucks orange creamsicle jerseys. Look at that. Look, I'm gonna put her on. Look them up, Baba. Anyways, uh, I don't see it. I don't see it, and the defense to me was going to be the one saving grace because I'm not going to leave it on Baker to throw for 300 a game and keep me in the game. So the saving grace was going to be the defense, if you ask me. But if the defense out there getting diced up by Josh Johnson, I mean, GG's, maybe. I don't know. Don't look good to me, if you ask. But hey, we out here Jags right now, okay? We making videos as Jags. That's just a guy. We're just a guy right now. But so, hey, our opinion ain't shit, but it's out there. It's out there. Let's talk about this Isaiah Simmons trade, bro. Oh man, I'm very bothered. I'm really bothered by this Isaiah Simmons trade because if I'm sure if 30 other GMs in the league knew Isaiah Simmons was available for a 7th round pick, they would have given up a 5th round pick. I like this. Okay, look, man, I'm just gonna put it like this: And you can call this a hot take. You can call this a I don't know. I know what I see. I see what I know, and that's so. In my opinion, since coming out from Clemson, Isaiah Simmons has been misclassified. If you ask me, okay, he he did his combine as a linebacker. In the league, he's played primarily linebacker snaps, some corner snaps, some edge snaps, some safety snaps. Isaiah Simmons is a safety. All right, he is an NFL safety. I don't care what anyone else says. I don't care what any NFL scout says. The proof is in the pudding, and his measurables match up to other successful NFL safeties in the league. Yet they keep trying to put him at linebacker or slot corner or edge, and I really don't understand that. And I think the Cardinals, I think they overthunk it a little bit with. I think they overthunk it. I think they did too much. I think they did too much. They didn't know how to use him, and Wink Martindale over in New York is really going to figure out how to use the Swiss Army knife that is Isaiah Simmons, because he can play out and play deep field, center field, safety. He can come down in the box and play like a rover. He can rush off the edge. He can guard a slot receiver, but you can't. It's just like a safety, right? It's just like Palomalu. I shouldn't. That's a hefty name to compare to. All right, but any safety in the league, right? Any top safety, Derwin James. We'll take Derwin James because Isaiah Simmons' ceiling being Derwin James athletically was never outside of the realm of possibility. And so look how the Chargers use Derwin James, right? He plays in the back, he plays deep, he comes up and plays the run. He guards athletic slots or tight ends like Kelsey, right? He's the Kelsey killer, right? I mean, Isaiah Simmons has been severely underutilized and used terribly in his career. Like, peep these measurables, people, okay? 6'4", 238 pounds, okay? With a 39-inch vertical and a 4.39 40 and 132-inch broad jump. That's 11 feet. That's standing still, no moving. He can jump 11 feet. Standing still, no moving. 2 feet on the ground, 11 feet. Okay. At 6'4", 238 pounds. That's crazy. All right. Now, to put that into comparison to some people that I'm saying, right? Okay. That those times put him as the best 40 time out of the linebackers in that class, fourth in vertical, second in broad jump. If he would have been placed at corner, that would have put him tied for second in the 40 at corner, tied for third in the vertical, and tied for fourth in the broad jump. At corner, at 6'4", 238 pounds, and this is a man they wanted to put at linebacker, and he would have tested in the top 5 in all measurables at corner, and they want to put him at linebacker. Okay. His combine numbers equal bigger and faster than Julio. He's taller, weighs more, jumps higher, and runs faster than Julio Jones. And then the safeties in that class, all of them that tested in the similar range, these are their numbers. Okay, and people, if you watch the game, you know these names. All right, and they play safety. Okay, and you're telling me that a guy who's technically bigger, 6'4", 238, he's bigger than a lot of these guys I'm about to name, but with the same measurables and the success they've had, you're telling me that Isaiah Simmons isn't a safety? All right, bro. Jeremy Chin, Kyle Duggar, Antoine Winfield Jr., Super Bowl winner, L'Jarius Sneed, 2-time Super Bowl winner. Okay, so we're talking about, I don't want to speak out of turn, but I see 3 names on there that if they're not all pros, they should be or are close to being all pros. and he tests the similar fashion. And in his entire career, he's played maybe 10% of his career snaps at safety. I think 1 year was 2%, 1 year was 8%. So I'm just aggregating, but it's obviously probably not that 10%, but it's still. I just I think the Cardinals jagged that. I think they really misused him. And I think the Giants are gonna make them look silly for trading him for a bag of chips. They traded that man for a high C and a bag of chips. It wasn't even a good bag of chips. It was probably some like salt and vinegar, fucking nasty ass Pringles that aren't fucking full. They're like were crumbled crumbles. Dummies. Oh man. And then the last bit of news to talk about before we get into the divisions, Trey Lance, right? Obviously, we know what went down there. People are gonna call that all types of stuff. Worst jag in draft history. I don't know. I heard somebody say John Lynch let the CTE get to him. I don't know what's happening. I don't. That's not a factual statement. He does not have CTE. Don't quote me. But no, I don't know what happened there. I don't know what happened there. And it's weird that this tends to happen with this franchise. Like I don't know, man. I feel like he should have got a little bit more of a chance. Like obviously if they know he's trash, they know he's trash. Okay? So, and they see him every day. They see him in practice more than we do. So, if they're seeing shit that we're not seeing, plus what we are seeing on the field, which isn't encouraging, right? Then maybe I should shut the fuck up. But I don't know. It just seems like I've seen a lot of other quarterbacks been given a lot more chances. Um, but yeah, that's I don't know. I don't know, man. Watch Dak get hurt and Trey Lance go in there and do something crazy. I don't know. But then the argument is also that Shanahan system is QB proof. Like it's supposed to be plug and play. It's supposed to be Brock Purdy 7th round, Mr. Irrelevant, go lead our team to the Super Bowl. Like it's supposed to be that type of offense. So and they're saying that he can't do it. So I don't know. Maybe he just isn't that, but we'll see. I'm kind of rooting for him now. I'm not gonna lie. Kind of rooting for him. Hope he does something. Maybe they'll give him a little package with that Cowboys offense, like in the goal line, some sort of goal line package. Because I mean, think about it. He's not a small dude, right? He can take a hit, and Zeke's gone. That was their big goal line threat. So Pollard, I wouldn't want to make a habit of running Pollard in between the tackles on the goal line. 5 to 10 times a game, however many times they might get there. So maybe Trey Lance comes in a goal line package. That'd be pretty cool. Not for fantasy owners, but hey. All right, let's get on to the divisional previews. Hey, I just made that up for you. Hey, this is what we about to do. Hey, whoa. No, let me stop. I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt them. They not ready. They not ready. No, they not ready. All right. So NFC West, that's what we're gonna pop off with first. And then we're gonna go to AFC West, and that'll be the completion of our divisional previews. Um, so we'll start off with Seattle. Seattle came out of nowhere last year. I don't think anybody expected Seattle to be as good as they were last year. Geno came out and balled out. Everyone was rooting for Geno. I don't think I know a single soul that was like not rooting for Geno just because of the journey he went through. He had that chance to start a little bit in the Giants, then got sat back down, came over to Seattle, didn't get a chance. Everyone wrote him off when he came to Seattle because Drew Lock just got there, right? Remember, Drew Lock came from Denver and was starting there for a little bit. goes into camp, beats out Drew Lock, and leads. I'm pretty sure Seattle had the number one offense, I think, efficient wise last year in the NFL. So um, I expect the same, if not better, from them this year. They added Jackson Smith and Jigba, who is hurt, broke his hand, but when he comes back, he should fit in seamlessly. Drafted also Zach Charbonnet, rookie running back. Looks like he's going to be an immediate impact. And their defense, honestly, I think this defense might be the best Seattle's had since the Legion of Boom, and that's high expectations, obviously. But I think we can honestly say that Tariq Woolen was great last year at corner. That dude played awesome. They added another first round corner in Devin Witherspoon. So I expect those two to be holding down the islands uh, by the middle of the year. You know, the Rook might take a little couple games to adjust, but adding Quandre Diggs, I mean, those the DBs are loaded, and then not their secondary, their pass rush. They welcome back Jaron Reed, Boy Mafe. They got some pass rushers too. So I think this team is going to sneak up on a lot of teams, cover a lot of spreads, and make us a lot of money this year. I really do. Oh, Kobe Bryant out of Cincinnati, another rookie last year who came on pretty strong last year. Yeah, these dudes, they're ready. So I think this team is. I think this team's going to sneak up on a lot of people. I think we'll take the spread a lot of the times, whatever the points if they're underdogs. I have a lot of confidence in this team being pretty good this year, honestly. Moving on to the Cardinals. All right. I have a lot of confidence in this team being pretty butt cheeks this year. Like just complete doo doo water. Like, I mean, they aren't gonna be good. It's not They not gonna be good, man. Even I'm sorry, anyone who's from Arizona or from Phoenix, if you watch this, I apologize. I'm just being 100, bro. Like, even with Kyler there, the playbook has been set to stop Kyler, even with him there. And that's make him throw from the pocket. You do a muddle pass rush, which is like a if you play Madden, it's like QB contain, right? They rush you, but they don't rush you, right? They just keep you they keep you in the pocket. And if you try to get out of the pocket, now they chase you. And that's what teams started doing with Kyler, and man, it did not make them look very good. Take out Kyler, insert Colt McCoy, and I don't really foresee it being any better. Um, the offense lost DeAndre Hopkins, so obviously that's a big downgrade in talent. Marquise Brown is now going to be asked to be the number one receiver, which I think we all saw how that worked out in Baltimore, and significantly more talented quarterback in Lamar Jackson. So I don't have any confidence in that either. Zach Ertz gets broken every year eventually, so that happens. Uh, James Conner might be the lone bright spot on this offense, especially fantasy wise, but how long until he breaks down as well? That dude can't stay healthy for shit. So, what are you going to rely on? 5'8" Rondale Moore to carry the offense? I don't. Man, I don't see it. The Chiefs played them the other day. Balaka and I went, and I think combined, the Chiefs quarterbacks went like, I think there may have been, let's say, 30 passes thrown. I think they might have thrown 7 incompletions. So, uh, the defense is going to be a leaky, just bleed passing yards. And if you give up big plays and passing yards and can't put up big plays and passing yards, that is a perfect storm for getting whipped consistently. So, and then them trading away Isaiah Simmons, it just kind of like enforces maybe they're tanking. Like, If they would have maybe traded him for, something significant and not like half of a stadium hot dog, then maybe I'd think they were trying to do something. But unfortunately, that's not what happened. So they might be tanking for Caleb Williams, which could be a good play because Caleb Williams is a dog. Like, that dude's a killer. And I don't know. Maybe that's their play, but they are going to be bad. So we're definitely going to be picking against the Cardinals every week. Every week, the team playing the Cardinals is getting put in the money line parlay. That's just what's going to happen. I don't care. um, On to the Rams. Okay, the Rams are probably going to be bad, but they might cover some spreads. I keep forgetting that they have that Stafford's there. I don't know why that keeps like I'm it escapes me, just like what escaped my thoughts, what I was gonna say right there. I don't know why I keep forgetting them. It just Cup got hurt last year, but he came back. Or he will be back by week 1, they say. So obviously, you're targeting Cup in fantasy, and Cam Akers came on really strong last year as well in the running game, and Tyler Higbee could be an option. But this all depends on the health of Stafford as well. So if Stafford's healthy, could also be a sneaky team to cover some spreads. But I don't really have very much faith in their defense outside of Aaron Donald. They I don't think Leonard Floyd's there anymore. Jalen Ramsey isn't there anymore. So I don't have very much confidence in their defense either. So this might be a team that we pick a lot of the overs on, pending Stafford's health, right? Because if they have Stafford and they can score a lot, and they also can't stop people from scoring, you know where I'm going here. 1 + 1 = 2, right? Okay, cool. Stetson Bennett is looking hot and cold, right? The 31-year-old from Georgia. I'm just kidding. The 25-year, I don't know. He old as fuck. All right. The old ass motherfucker from Georgia out there is okay. He's hot and cold right now. We'll see what happens. I wouldn't want to rely on him right now, but I do see there's bright spots here and there. You know what I'm saying? So, but I would expect them to probably go in at quarterback again next year in the draft if they have any picks. Remember, they said fuck them picks for the last 3 years, so they might not have any picks. Who the fuck knows? I'm not privy to that information. I need to be better about that. But yeah, that's the Rams. And so then we have the Niners. Okay, so the Niners, obviously, this is everybody's odds-on favorite for the division. Bringing back Brock Purdy, bringing in Sam Darnold, who I have no faith in, to be honest. But again, quarterback-proof system, so I don't need to have faith in him. He just needs to not suck, I guess. Because that Shanahan system's supposed to be quarterback-proof. And which brings me back to the Trey Lance thing. I'm sorry. That's why I lost my train of thought because it perplexes me. There's some behind the scenes shit going on there. There has to be. I don't know. Anyways, weapons aplenty. They have so many people to get the pill to. Yeah, obviously it starts with Christian McCaffrey. Move on to Debo, right? Running back receiver combo. Ayuk came on strong last year. Kittle, very good tight end. Plenty mouths to feed, and the defense is strong, and we all know that. They got Defensive Player of the Year Nick Bosa, although he is also holding out currently, not signed. We'll see what happens with that. You got Fred Warner playing linebacker out there. You'll probably best linebacker in the league. Top 3 for sure. Top 2 for sure. They got the kid that's he's getting mentored by Troy Polamalu. He's a dog. His name escapes me right now. Hufanga, I think is his name. Killer. He's a killer. So I mean, the 49ers are gonna be strong. Odds on favorites to win the division. I don't I don't really have much else to say about them because we all kind of know what's coming there. I would consider sprinkling something on them for a Super Bowl. I think outside of the Eagles, obviously, they're probably the next best bet uh, for an appearance in the Super Bowl. I really wish we could have seen what that game looked like last year with a healthy quarterback when they played the Eagles. That would have been a really good game. So I think they're definitely worth a sprinkle on the Super Bowl. Let's look at that actually. Sprinkle on the Super Bowl for the 49ers. Right now they have the fifth best odds and the second best odds after the Eagles at plus 1,000. So that's pretty damn good odds for a team that good to win the Super Bowl, plus 1,000. So not a bad shot to take. As I said, the chalk pick is the Niners. So chalk pick Niners to win the division right now. They're sitting at minus 165. So that tells you how much everyone's really leaning on the Niners to win that division. My spicy pick to win that division, the Seattle Seahawks, sitting there at number 2 at plus 200. So the other teams are clearly projected to be buns. They gonna be buns. Yeah, not honey buns. I like them honey buns. Y'all remember ice honey buns? They ain't bring those back. Those were fire. You ever had those? Oh Lord, ice honey buns. They was so fire. I remember back in the day, honey buns be like 75 cents, 50 cents. Ooh, now they like $2. No, haven't had a honey bun in a long time because they tax it now. It's fucking stupid. Anyways, sorry. Back to the real shit. Rams are at plus 1,000 and the Cardinals are at plus 2,700 to win their division. So we're not even looking at that bullshit. Uh, yeah, it's San Fran as the chalk and then Seattle as the spicy play. Simple as that. Don't get too crazy. I would, Seattle might be one of those teams though that I throw in that spicy parlay I talked about in last episode, right? So like Seattle, Minnesota, Atlanta, Tennessee. All right, that's I would throw those four. Maybe Miami. I would throw those five. Or actually, you could probably get the Bills for plus money right now too. Maybe Bills. I'd throw those, combination of those five teams into like a round robin parlay before the season. Look for that in the next episode, just to see. Who knows? It's the NFL. Don't count any team out. Unless your name is the Arizona Cardinals. I mean, what? Huh? Uh, On to the AFC West. West. Man, this wine crazy. Um. All right, we're gonna start the AFC West talk with the Raiders. All right, Las Vegas Raiders. I almost call them the Oakland Raiders. I'm so glad I called myself Las Vegas Raiders. All right, they entered this season, in my opinion, with some significant losses. Uh, You're losing Derek Carr, you're losing Darren Waller, and for a large amount of the time, these last 2 to 3 years, that was the team. So, um, except for last year when Darren Waller was, hurt, and then it was Derek Carr, Devontae Adams. So, uh, here's the thing: Jimmy Garoppolo to me is a downgrade from Derek Carr. Derek Carr isn't the greatest in my opinion, but he's better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Here's another thing: Jimmy Garoppolo is not better at Derek Carr at throwing the deep ball. That's why Devontae Adams didn't really skip a beat last year. because Derek Carr, they had that chemistry, and Derek Carr's a pretty good deep ball thrower. So Devontae Adams could have 180 yards on 3 catches, because those 3 catches are all fucking, 50 plus yards. So that aspect of the offense is getting taken away. Insert Jimmy Garoppolo. So now you're wondering, are you going to get more of the PPR machine that Devontae Adams kind of was in Green Bay? I don't foresee that. I don't foresee them hanging the pill in Garoppolo's hands. I see them leaning on Jacobs again. And again, we spoke about it earlier. That box could be filled up with a lot more defenders this year after the success that Josh Jacobs had. So I think this offense could get predictable very fast. And then after it gets predictable, you don't have a person at the quarterback position to transcend that predictability. So I think they could be the worst team in the AFC West. I think that's actually a pretty strong possibility. Especially because the defense is suspect too. Was suspect last year. They have one good player. It's Max Crosby. I'm sure he'll be asking to get out of there shortly. I don't know. I don't really see a very good season with this Raiders team. Maybe a top 5 pick coming. If you play fantasy, do not let someone else draft Devontae Adams. I'll just put it like that, and I think that's a fair thing for me to say. And if I get bit in the ass from it and he goes off, so be it, because his name's Devontae Adams. But I think I'm gonna call that shot. Let somebody else draft that shit. Denver Broncos coming up next. Okay, the Broncos. Major addition here in the offseason is the addition of Sean Payton, coach from New Orleans Saints. If you guys aren't familiar, he was the head coach when the New Orleans Saints won the Super Bowl with Drew Brees. So, a big culture change is coming for the Denver Broncos, and it has came. And the question is, are they going to buy in? Are the players going to accept the rigidness that is Sean Payton compared to what was said to be kind of an open house when Nathaniel Hackett was there? So I don't know, man. Jury's out on the Broncos. They're not without talent. They got talent, right? You would assume, there's whispers that Russ is washed, but we'll see. I think if he has another year this year as last year and kind of the year before that too, I think it's official, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt one more year. Javonte Williams' amazing comeback story is apparently going to be ready for week 1. I saw that dude taking carries in the preseason. He destroyed his knee last year, so that's good for him. Samaje Perine comes over from the Bengals, pass catching back. Their receivers got a little injury bug in the preseason. Tim Patrick out for the year. Poor guy. Cortland Sutton is there. I'm not Tim Patrick. Jerry Jeudy, I think, strained his hamstring, I believe. So insert the names I talked about earlier. One of the names I talked about earlier, Lil Jordan Humphrey. Flash, that's his name. That's actually his name, Lil Jordan Humphrey. Okay. Yeah, it flashed. He flashed last game in the preseason. Had a really good game. Breaking tackles, making catches. Marvin Mims, another name to maybe keep on your radar. but yeah, I don't know. All pins on the new culture set by Sean Payton on what the Broncos are going to do. I don't see them finishing. I think this division's got 2 clear good teams in it, man. I'm just put it like that, and it's not the ones I just talked about. So, next up, we got the Chargers. All right, we'll talk about the Chargers. This is a team that is always Like, why aren't you a little bit better, right? Why aren't you as good as we all think you should be? It's always the Chargers. I was saying Chargers gonna charge every time. Because you know why? Because when you charge, you loading. They always loading. Chargers gonna charge. Um, yeah, I know that was hard not to laugh. Bob over here acting like I'm not funny. That's crazy. Anyways, I can't wait to get a co-host on this bitch. With the personality I got, y'all know. Look, hey, if y'all know somebody who can rumble in the jungle, trying to talk some sports, if it's you, shoot me a message. We'll figure it out. Even if it's as a guest, I need people on here to bounce shit off of. We go crazy. We're trying to build something here. Come on now. All right, back to the Chargers. Look, they are inserting Kellen Moore as their offensive coordinator. As a Chiefs fan, I'm officially nervous. With a talent like Justin Herbert and the offense that Kellen Moore wants to run, the sky is truly the limit for that offense. Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Quinn Johnson, Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett, Justin Herbert. Like that offense, they're going to throw the pill a lot. It's going to be pretty fast paced. It's a team that scares me. It really does. It really, really does. Um, the defense has players. Khalil Mack's still there. Derwin James, best safety in the league. They did lose Drew Tranquill, came over to Kansas City. So they need somebody to step up in that middle linebacker spot. But the defense doesn't have to be crazy. It just has to be good enough. We've seen teams in the past with defenses that are just good enough, and the offense can carry them to the Super Bowl. It happened with the Chiefs. So, I think the big thing that could maybe get in the way of this team, the question mark, is the coach, Brandon Staley. Is Brandon Staley good? Like, what? Is he good? I've seen this dude trick off games with poor decisions. You could argue last year in the playoffs, the play calling, they were up. What were they up? They were like 28-0, right? They were up a lot in that playoff game, if y'all remember, against the Jags, and it was the most epic collapse. And I loved it. It was hilarious to watch every second of it. But uh, I just, it was crazy to me to see an NFL team do that. Um, that can't just be the players. That has to come down to coaching when that happens. Like 4 tuds in a playoff game? Hey, man, whatever. But that would be the one thing that scares me about that team is the coach. Can he actually help lead them to the promised land? Other than that, this is a team that I would consider sprinkling on 2 things, honestly. Let's look them up. I would sprinkle on Super Bowl odds. Them to at least get there, if not win it. I don't know what the get there odds are, but them winning it. Oh man, wait, them winning it, you can get them at plus 2100. They're like 2 odds lower than a team like the Jets, if that gives you any indication. They have the same odds as the Dolphins, same odds as the Lions, which holy hell, they have the Lions high. Whoa. But yeah, I would sprinkle on the Chargers way before the Lions. I guess the Lions maybe are that high because the NFC is kind of weak comparative to the AFC. Like the AFC is a gauntlet, right? There's 5 teams, 6 teams legitimately that could come out of the AFC as Super Bowl contenders. So that's good. That's the tough thing for the Chargers, but they're as good as any for a sprinkle on the Super Bowl. At plus 2100, if you were to throw a futures bet of $20 in there right now and you hit it, it pays you $420 if they were to win the Super Bowl. So, it's a season long sweat, but could be worth it. I also think taking a look at MVP odds, Justin Herbert for MVP is the more reasonable sprinkle to take. Or Offensive Player of the Year, either one you want. MVP, he's sitting at plus 900. I would probably avoid Offensive Player of the Year just because that is usually given to the best statistical player that isn't a quarterback, because usually the best statistical player that is a quarterback gets the MVP. Like I don't. It's just kind of how that goes. So I would maybe avoid Herbert for Offensive Player of the Year, maybe more MVP and Offensive Player of the Year. Look more at a guy like Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill for Offensive Player of the Year is at plus 2,000. Jeez, that's a guy that could go for 2,000 yards this year. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, that's another talk for another day. But yeah, the Chargers, they're nice. Defense just has to be good enough. Herbert's going to put up a lot of numbers this year. So a team that's definitely worth a sprinkle on winning the division, winning the conference, winning the Super Bowl, and Herbert MVP. All four of those are in play. And last, but certainly not least, we'll talk about those Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry, I was parked. For those of you that don't know, if you're just watching the channel and the videos, I am a Chiefs fan. Listen, some people might be new and not know me. We trying to build a community. All right, see, smart ass. We're trying to. I'm a Chiefs fan, so yeah. Sometimes my bias gets in there. I'll admit that, but I definitely do make the conscious effort to not let it affect me in my comments. But I'm gonna just put it out there. I'm gonna be real with it. Why would I hide that from you? I'm a Chiefs fan. That's what it is. So, um, Chiefs look locked in this year, man. Not gonna lie, from the preseason, boys look sharp. Mahomes looks sharp. O-line looks sharp. Receiver room's a battle. Got a lot of young guys in there battling. Justin Ross looks like he could be the steal. Absolute diamond of the rough in the draft last year. That dude is looking more unguardable every game. The routing, the jump ball ability. I'm very excited to see that kid on the field. It might be worth a sprinkle of him on comeback player of the year. I think I looked at it. It was like plus 10,000 or something stupid because they have DeMar Hamlin at minus 350 right now. If DeMar Hamlin wins comeback player of the year, I'm sorry. The story's incredible. It was determined before the season he was going to win it if he wins it. Just going to put that out there because there's no way he's going to play. There's no way he's going to play the amount of snaps in volume that is going to allow him to be considered for that. There's no way. It's not like he's an every down starter for them. He plays nickel. So like a guy like Lamar Jackson who plays every fucking down for them for the Ravens and is gonna have the pill in his hand every down and is in contention for comeback player of the year. Like that guy actually is that's who I'd probably put actual money on. But again, like with DeMar Hamlin minus 350, something seems a little fishy. So I'd probably stay away from comeback player of the year altogether. But yeah, just putting that out there for the Justin Ross. Mahomes has mentioned that he is learning to improve on his pre-snap reads. That information is coming. I heard that on the preseason interviews on the games yesterday. Blaine Gabbert, one of the backup quarterbacks in Kansas City right now, he spent some time with Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. And apparently Mahomes has been picking his brain, trying to improve on his pre-snap reads and take some things that Tom Brady used to do and apply them to his game. So when you're talking about applying strategies that Tom Brady uses, I don't think that's ever a bad idea because obviously he's had some success playing the quarterback position, regardless of what your opinion of him is. So that's cool. But the big elephant in the room in Kansas City obviously is Chris Jones, right? Where's Chris Jones? And as a Chiefs fan, personally, like I feel two ways. One, I feel kind of like I'm starting to feel what's the word I'm trying to use? I don't want to say like betrayed. I want to say someone who has experienced contradiction, right? I don't know if there's a verb or a noun for that, but I'm a person who has experienced contradiction from Chris Jones, and it makes me mad because I'm like, well, which one is it, Brad? Because Mahomes took less money, literally, for y'all to get your bread. Literally, it's on record. He took less money for y'all to get your bread. Chris Jones, you love talking to Twitter and saying, I love Kansas City. I want to be a Chief for life. Da, da, da. But then you're going to let something as petty as a couple mil decide whether you want to be a Chief or not, or whether you want to show up and play. And we're talking about a contract that is, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You're not for not. You understand me? That's what people say for when people are well off, right? You're not for not, bro. You have plenty. Okay, you're arguing over a couple millions here after saying that you don't care about a couple of millions. So which one is it? Which one is it? So hey man, at this point, I'm sure the Chiefs franchise feels the same as a lot of people do. Um, as long as Andy Reid's there, as long as Brett Veach is there, as long as Patrick Mahomes is there, as long as Travis Kelce's there, everything else can we can figure out everything else. That's what it kind of feels like to me. Because it's it's always been, oh, y'all don't have Eric Berry no more. Now what? Oh, you don't have Tyrann Mathieu no more. Now what? Oh, you don't have Tyreek Hill no more. Now what? And every time after that, the success has followed still. So, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we see another Tyreek Hill situation. Um, as long as we get something good for him, if he gets traded, I know a first round pick's coming for sure. So, first round pick and probably some young talent. I did read earlier though on the artist that has formerly been known as Twitter. I did read on there that his agent was in Kansas City today. So maybe they're figuring something out before the deadline because the 53-man roster has to be locked in. I think tomorrow or Tuesday. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't I don't have a lot of optimism right now, but if it gets done, cool. If it doesn't get done, cool. I think that's where a lot of Chiefs people are at with that. So I think that is it, guys. I don't have very much more here. That'll be it for the show. Episode 4 is in the books. Wrap it up. Seal it up. Send it up to the folks. Yup. Um, as always, man, if you have tuned in, if you are tuning in, or if you will tune in, I sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you riding this wave and taking this journey with me. Look, just like any journey, like I said, riding a wave, the waves get choppy, right? We might have some bumps, but we're going to be better for it, and we're going to come out on top in the end. So, again, if you here, I appreciate you, and if you gonna be here, I appreciate you. So, if you was here and you fell off, I appreciate you. So, next week we don't have any NFL next week, so just keep your ear to the streets. Might have an episode next week. Might take next week off to prep. But the week after that, again, keep your ears to the streets. I'm going to have the YouTube up by then, by week 1 of the NFL season for sure. So we will definitely be going live once that happens so we can bounce off each other, interact, do that cool shit. I'll probably try to go live before the NFL games come on so we can just bullshit and talk about what we think is going to happen during the day and bets we like during the day and what's going to happen on that slate. So just keep your ears to the streets, guys. Again, thank you for rocking with me. Episode 4, he's hot takes is in the books. Let's get it. Appreciate y'all. Signing out.